What's a dirty little secret you found out about a company or service that made you stop using them? Intuit lobbied to keep taxes complex. Fuck TurboTax. Subway knew covered up that Jared was a pedophile. I used to work as the lead designer for Blue Notes in Canada. YM Inc. knowingly uses near slave and child labor and denies everything in the press. But they do know. And they don't care. Money is more important. Frontier Airlines likes to post fake flights at good times and charge a premium for them. Then they cancel the good flight that never really existed and stick you on a red-eye they sell for much cheaper and don't refund any of the difference in price. Yeah, you can refuse and get your money back and book with another airline. But you have to wait on hold an hour to do it, and now all your options with other airlines have gone up hundreds of dollars since when you booked. Angie's List did work for a person and they left a good review on Angie's List. Next thing I know, I've got a guy from their call center blowing up my phone. He wanted me to pay them to put more good reviews under my company's name and to steer potential customers towards my business for an additional fee. Basically everything they say they don't do on their ads. I'm sure it was a trustworthy company when Angie still owned it. But it's scammy as hell now. DoorDash keeping drivers' tips for themselves. Most of the recycling bins just get dumped in regular garbage. The Weather Channel app collected and sold user location data without disclosing it. Would it be shared with advertisers? Hobby Lobby was fined $3 million for trying to smuggle looted ancient artifacts into the U.S. There's a super expensive artisanal ice cream shop in my city. They pride themselves on their fresh, genuine ingredients. My mom has celiacs, and I wanted to take her there. So I asked for a full ingredient list of their ice cream. They really didn't want to give it to me. But its law and its gluten-friendly wasn't good enough. There is zero real cream. It's all modified milk ingredients and artificial stabilizers and flavorings. Stopped going to a nail salon after one of the employees shared that they have to sit in the back room in the dark when they aren't with a customer. Went to a small diner a few blocks away from me. I used to go there all the time. They were decent and the staff was great. Not the best ever, but it hit the spot. One day I went in and the owner started going around berating the staff and yelling at them in front of everybody. He saw me staring at him, so he comes up to me and says, "I'm sorry about that." So I said to him, "If I worked for you, and you talked to me like that, I'd smack the shit out of you." Immediately got up and left. Never went there again. Newegg after their broken open box item scams. Volkswagen manipulated the software on their diesel cars so they could cheat the emissions tests. Cost them a fine of $2,800,000,000. Nickelodeon farms out their animation in SpongeBob to a South Korean studio, but doesn't credit most of the South Korean animators in the credits. The guy who runs my local Subway got caught with his hands down his pants. Everything Nestle. Just Google it. It's way too much and it's inhumane. Any kind of small, locally owned clothing boutique. 9-10 times. It's nothing but fast fashion rebranded to be a small business owner. Most people don't realize this. And will happily boast, "I don't shop at Shine. I only buy from local boutiques," etc. The worst. Emo. Are the ones who claim to have some type of Christian religious influence in their store. Yet their clothing is literally made in sweatshops. Nestle with their water is not a human right. Chiquita changed its name from United Fruit Company. Walmart has had peasant insurance on all of their employees. So, if you work in the bakery and die in a car wreck, Walmart gets a check for $30–50K and your family gets nothing. Haven't given them a cent in 15 years. Scamazon sells fake name brand goods, and when you point it out to them, they tell you to go FCUK yourself. There is a huge bookstore chain that destroys the books they don't sell. I go there so rarely now, but every time I do go there to buy something, they ask me to donate money. For students who can't afford books. MF. Just give them the books you gonna destroy. The bookstore owner is a literal billionaire. Long time back I played World of Warcraft. A news report came out about China forcing prisoners to farm gold and sell it for real money. After that, any time I played and saw people spamming the messages to buy the gold, and just knowing some poor bastard was on the other side forced to do what I was doing for fun completely killed the fun for me. Johnson & Johnson knew for decades, possibly since their inception, that their talcum powder contained asbestos. Once it became a problem, they continued to sell it in low-income neighborhoods because the poor can't afford doctors or lawyers. Uber giving their top executives millions in annual bonuses, then filing taxes claiming millions in losses. Also charging below local taxi rates for years to cause the local taxi companies to fold. Then raising rates to above normal rate once they have a near monopoly. Worked part-time for a butcher. Learned that the owner never eat his meat. Never buy from that butcher ever again. Mechanic wore a short-sleeve shirt and reached for something. I saw he had a swastika tattoo. The business model for Samsung appliances has planned obsolescence at its core, which is generally true for most appliances. But my current washer, dryer, dishwasher and stove are not Samsung, and I couldn't be happier. Oven has failed, but I use an air fryer anyways and didn't really lose any cooking ability. Papa John told us all that his employees don't deserve healthcare. Chase Bank. Being the financial arm of JP Morgan, Chase Bank has funded both sides of nearly every single war on Earth since WW1. I used to use GoDaddy for my personal domains until their CEO put photos on their corporate page of him posing with the dead elephants he killed. Dude was smiling, he was so proud of killing elephants. Moved my domains to Cozy Earth. Leave anything less than 4-5 stars and they won't post the review. They will also change low reviews to 5 stars themselves. I called and asked and they said they have full discretion. I'm sure a lot of companies do this. I guess they do, but it makes a lot of sense now with their quality declining and their reliance on influencers to keep money rolling in. Haven't bought Nestlé since 2015. If your toothpaste says Colgate Total, it is exactly the same toothpaste as any other toothpaste that says Colgate Total, no matter what else the packaging says. Every different type of Colgate Total is simply marketing, and the only difference is the packaging. I mean, any company that doesn't treat their employees well is basically dead to me. So most of them. Factory farms treat animals horribly. So I don't buy their products anymore. The existence of so-called ag-gag laws is testament to the fact that people want to keep this stuff secret. I watched a documentary about a major tobacco company. It seems that there was a company hike one fine day, and a young guy noticed how the older execs were flashing past him as they made their way up a hill. When the younger exec commented that it was amazing how they could be at the top of the cigarette food chain and still have such great cardio, one of the older execs said, "We don't smoke that shit. We just sell it." The younger exec stopped smoking right there and then, and when I watched him relate this exchange, so did I.